Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, June 25th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I let my feelings guide me through my personal revolution, evolution. And today we have Uranus at the helm. So it's our first revolution, evolution day of Sun in Cancer. When Uranus is at the helm, it's about liberation energy, and sometimes we come up against places where we are stuck, where we resist change, where we can be triggered, where there's potential wounding. And so Uranus is like, oh, there's a button, pushing that button. What is that? Hi, my name is Joe, and I work in a button factory. That's Uranus. And Uranus is like, oh, there's a button, and there's a button, and there's a button, pushing all the buttons. So do realize the potential for that today. But again, it's for your personal liberation. It's for your personal revolution, evolution. And it is, as your feelings come up, whatever they may be, it's guiding you like, okay, this is what's up in your personal revolution, evolution. That being said, we have Venus direct today. Now, technically, I'm recording this Wednesday evening. Venus has not gone direct yet. It's going direct in about 3-4 hours from now. 11:48 p.m. Pacific time. So we've had Venus retrograde since May 13th, 21 degrees Gemini. And so here we are, June 25th, 5 degrees Gemini. So now we are going to make our third pass over these energies. So over, I would say, these last 2 months, a little bit more than that, what have been your lessons around yin energy? As we move direct, we want to take the lessons that we've learned and move with them forward. So your lessons around communication, your lessons around your yin legacy, lessons around yin itself, lessons around relationships, whether with yourself or with others, especially with yourself, as Gemini energy can really bring up those mirrors from outside of ourselves, but it's really meant to show us, hey, what's going on, whether it's a funhouse mirror or not. So really looking at those energies, but the yin thing specifically, the yin energy, where you've been called to utilize and integrate that energy even more so, move forward with that. Don't just leave it behind. The world, more than ever, needs us to find a balance in the yin and the yang energies. As a planet goes direct after being retrograde, sometimes it can be like, I always liken it to like a plane speeding up or slowing down. You can kind of feel the energy like, oh, it's a little weird. So you may feel a little weirdness as we move forward, as it's in Gemini too. Even though Venus does not rule technology, between this and the Mercury retrograde, you may find technology issues spiking a little and communication issues spiking a little. So be aware of that. Also in the background, like I said, we are building into this Pluto-Jupiter conjunction. And so even though I said, like yesterday's scope, there may be some power and control issues coming up. We're reviewing these same degrees that we just rolled over, and this intensity of this Pluto-Jupiter conjunction is coming even more so. So do be aware of them. And it's at the top of my cards, actually, the control card. So the control card, I have the stress card and the going with the flow card in reverse. So do be aware, especially in yourself. If you are feeling these control issue energies coming up, you may need to work on embracing that yin a little bit more. How can you utilize flexibility in your flow to work with the universe instead of fighting the universe and its guidance, consciousness, right there. Guidance. Moon. The moon will be finishing up in Leo. We actually have a fast-moving yod in the sign of Leo, or pointing at the sign, the moon in Leo. It's being fed into by Mars in Pisces and that Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. So we're fighting the in the flow feeling. That's the Mars and Pisces. We're finishing up Mars and Pisces. We really want to utilize that flexibility and that yin, because Mars is going to be moving into Aries for 6 months. And if we do not know how to be flexible and let go of some of these power and control issues, then we're gonna all be at each other's throats. So we want to utilize that in the flow energy, stand in our power, Pluto, Jupiter, stand in our power, know our personal authority, and that Yod pointing at the moon in Leo is reminding us through these shifts, through these changes, and as the moon moves out of Leo and into Virgo, can you bring your heart with you? When we move into Virgo, we go into analytical mode, we go into mental logical mode, and sometimes we don't always bring our heart with us. So this is a reminder as we stand in our authority and move in our personal flow. Bring your heart with you. Also bring your inner child with you. Bring some fun and play. Again, that's necessary. Enlightening these times is through the child in you, is through the innocence in you. So moon will be shifting into Virgo 10 a.m. Pacific time. So like I said, analytical mode goes up. Overanalyzing, criticism can happen with that Virgo energy. But Virgo energy, it is called to notice for a reason. Where the best way I like to utilize the Virgo energy is by tuning into the physical body. And this goes hand in hand with our lessons in Cancer right now. What kind of nurturing does your physical body need at this time? How do you show up for it? Utilize your analysis there rather than getting caught up or too stuck in everything that's going wrong. Now, this is an interesting combination as well. I always say that the two biggest warriors of the zodiac is Cancer and Virgo. So, Sun in Cancer and Moon in Virgo, you may find your tendency to worry that things are not going as they're meant to. That may spike up a little bit. Go back to those yachty energies, the Jupiter, Pluto, standing in your authority, knowing your power. You are called to step into purpose in your own personal way, in your own personal flow, that Pisces energy, Neptune in Pisces, Mars in Pisces. Go your own way. Trust. I'm quoting Lilith right now. Where is Lilith? Let me see where Lilith is. Sorry. Moving that. Oh, Lilith hanging out in Aries. Go your own way. Honor how you are being called. Honor your flow in this. Don't let the worries pull you down too hard. It's normal. It happens. But that can be a very sinking energy. And a lot of times we're not necessarily tuned into our own guidance when we get stuck in the worry. Worry is very muddy too. If you think about it, Cancer energy, water, and the Virgo energy, earth, very muddy. So it can be purifying, but you don't want to stay caked in mud. You do want to wash it off. So wash off the worry. So speaking of that, the moon and the sun in Cancer, moon in Virgo, will be meeting 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Again, if you're finding yourself feeling muddy or worried, that may be a call for the self-care. Return to the body. What kind of nurturing do you need? And speaking of the Yod, bringing the inner child with you, maybe you need to tend to your inner child. Maybe they need a little extra physical care. So what is that going to mean for you? Some healthy food, some water, some cookies, because that helps too. Finally, we have the moon in Virgo meeting Venus. Venus newly coming off that retrograde energy. So it's square energy. Virgo squares Gemini. They see things and analyze things and notice the things from two different perspectives. Gemini is really good at like, oh, so that's what's going on. And Virgo is kind of like, that's what's going on and here's what's going wrong with it. Try to find your balance. There is a reason when we see things that are off, because healing, Virgo energy, is possible. But sometimes we also just need to notice things as they are without, again, getting caught up in the analysis paralysis that Virgo energy can do. So can you find your balance in this? In fact, can you even find the good in whatever these situations that are coming up that you're feeling worried about? Back to that word, feeling the worry today. If you are feeling the worry, please share it, because it has come through very strongly. That being said, let's look at the cards. I have the stress card. Don't overdo it. That's another thing, the Virgo. Virgo is such a doer. Doing. Cancer likes to do for others. Cancer is like, how can I take care of you? How can I make the world feel better? Here is your cosmic chicken soup. Let me care for you, you know? Don't overdo for others. Make sure that you are filling your own cup. Don't overdo it. Stay conscious of your lessons. Stay conscious of your roles. Stay conscious of what you are being called or how you're being called in the flow. Part of the overdoing can be that control issue. Like, if I was at the helm, I could fix the world. Well, our part in fixing the world is each doing our own part. So noticing what that part is that you're being called to step into and doing that and not thinking that you have to do everything else. Let others step up where they are called. So that is it for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.